Hello, bonjour, and welcome to another edition of JSL TV. I'm your host, my name is Joel. In this video, we are going to be discussing PSG's 1-0 win over Real Madrid, which just transpired in leg number 1 of their knockout stage tie against the La Liga leaders. Here are my 5 takeaways from that encounter. Starting with point number 1, it's all about the adjustments, and Mauricio Pochettino has gotten his fair share of criticism, to say the least. I think that sort of comes with the territory when you're managing a team with the budget of PSG and when you're playing against, let's face it, a lot of minnows in Ligue 1 for the majority of the time. They've got virtually an insurmountable league in Ligue 1. However, their goal is to capture a Champions League title, and they are on their way to making it to the quarterfinals. They've got one foot in the door to the quarterfinals after their 1-0 victory, and to say the least, they made some great adjustments in the second half. A stagnant first half. Real Madrid looked quite comfortable defending against the Parisians at the Parc des Princes. Really did not look under duress. Courtois seemed very comfortable in the first half, Thibaut Courtois. However, in the second half, it was a very different story as PSG had the ball in the Real Madrid, and for the majority of the game, they put the Real Madrid defenders under a lot of pressure. The Real Madrid defenders made a lot of needless errors. Eventually, took a really long time, but eventually PSG's pressure paid off. They got the goal they needed right at the end, and as a result, they lead that round of 16 tie 1-0. Going back to the Bernabeu, that could be a big, big goal. Point number 2, it is cleaning up, and PSG have done a remarkable job of shutting down Real Madrid in their recent ties against them. They held them to 0 shots on target earlier today. They held them to 0 goals for a second consecutive time. The last time they faced Real Madrid at the Parc des Princes was in September of 2019, and on that particular day, they ended up winning by a score of 3-0. They have shut them down brilliantly. Now, Real Madrid clearly did not look to be at their best. They seem to be really hanging on, content to try to get the 0 result while not really intending to attack, perhaps because of that away goal rule, which is completely wiped out now. They really did not seem to have a lot of attacking intent throughout this encounter. Obviously, that is going to have to change in leg 2 in the Bernabeu in a few weeks' time. Point number 4, it is holding the fort, and one man who has held the fort brilliantly for Real Madrid has been Thibaut Courtois, and if not for Thibaut Courtois, the score could have been like a 3-0 result like it was the last time these sides played. It could have been even more than that because PSG were quite frankly dominant in half number 2. He stopped Lionel Messi from the penalty spot. He was brilliant against Mbappe until the very end of the game. Thibaut Courtois, if not for the brilliance of Kylian Mbappe, was likely the man of the match in this one, and he has been absolutely brilliant when it comes to saving penalties. He has now stopped 3 penalty kicks in the last 9 that he has faced for both club and for his country, Belgium. So he is, to say the least, a very, very fearful man to face, and somebody that can be very intimidating from 12 yards away. I mean, he stared down the GOAT, the greatest footballer of all time, Lionel Messi, and he stopped him in this game in the Champions League. He has been brilliant, and if not for him, it could have been a very different score. Point number 3, in Karim we trust. Karim Benzema has clearly been the go-to guy for Real Madrid, and Ancelotti showed that today, the amount of faith and trust he has in Karim Benzema, or perhaps the lack of confidence that he has in the rest of his team, because Benzema did not appear to be himself on this day. He has been suffering from some injury issues over the last little while, and he was kept in relative check, but in all the substitutions, didn't seem like Ancelotti was ever thinking about taking off the Frenchman, one of the top goal scorers in the entire world, one of the leading vote getters for the Ballon d'Or this past season. Karim Benzema did not look like himself, but to be frank, who else does Real Madrid have right now who can have the touches and who can score with the same caliber as Karim Benzema? It shows a lot to me, the fact that he seemed clearly injured, did not seem himself, but he was also perhaps the one that they were counting on the most. Shows a lot about how far Karim Benzema has come with Real Madrid. Of course, he was playing second fiddle, maybe even third or fourth fiddle for a really long time at Real Madrid. Of course, there was Gareth Bale during his heyday. Gareth Bale, not the same guy right now, of course. And Cristiano Ronaldo, of course. Everybody, unfortunately, is going to take a back seat to Cristiano Ronaldo when Cristiano Ronaldo is in your side. Point number 5. Saving the best for last. And when we're talking about saving the best for last, we're talking about Kylian Mbappe. You want to talk about somebody who's playing second fiddle, third fiddle, maybe even arguably, depending on how you see it. Well, Kylian Mbappe is making it extremely difficult for the Parisians to want to let him go, to have trust that Neymar and Lionel Messi will take you there. Right now, it is Kylian Mbappe's team. Kylian Mbappe is, in my opinion, the best player in the world today, and he proved it on this stage earlier today. He was absolutely brilliant. His speed, his touches, his precision, he created that penalty kick, all his own work. His goal at the end, absolutely breathtaking. Of course, some very suspicious defending. He really made mincemeat of the Real Madrid defense in the second half earlier today. Kylian Mbappe, a brilliant finish, and he has done brilliantly when it comes to scoring right at the end. He was, of course, scored the game winner when PSG beat Rennes over the weekend in Ligue 1 in the 93rd minute. This time it was a 94th minute strike that puts PSG on the front foot against Real Madrid. Kylian Mbappe, an absolutely stunning performance tonight, and Kylian Mbappe is really making it difficult for his team to want to let him go. Of course, all those rumors about his chemistry with Benzema, that he might be going to Real Madrid. Well, PSG better think again if they want to lose him and think that Messi and Neymar can get the job done alone, particularly in Europe, because Kylian Mbappe is making that decision incredibly difficult. We will see how that transpires. Those are my takeaways from this big encounter. Let me know your thoughts. Is Kylian Mbappe the best player in the world right now in the entire world? Let me know your thoughts. What did you think about this game? Was PSG as dominant as I saw them to be, particularly in the second half? How good is Thibaut Courtois? What is going to happen in leg number 2 in a few weeks' time? Let me know your thoughts. You can like and subscribe, and as always, check out more quality French content in the future.